Game looked to be going away from you, and then all this snatches in the end.
Yeah, look, I think we didn't get to the pace of the game in the first half. It was disappointing. We weren't making contact early enough, and we weren't making enough tackles. So our work rate wasn't good enough in the first half, and we were disappointed at half time. We weren't putting them under enough pressure, and we were letting their spare runners coming in behind us a lot. So the plan that we had for it didn't work. That's my fault. And we changed it at half time. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, we made the changes, and we brought on Kira, and we changed the game plan, and that started to work for us then. So disappointing. We just left a little bit too much.
If you wanted to get goals, it came at a crucial time for you. You almost saw it out then in the end.
Yeah, look, it's probably difficult to analyse it too this soon afterwards, but we knew that we'd create chances eventually. I just maybe the nerves got to us a little bit, or we looked heavier than them. As in we didn't look like we were fluid in our movement, and a few players then were trying to nearly force themselves into the game, rather than being kind of natural. And I think Kildare in the first half just looked fresher. Both teams are obviously extremely fit, and there's probably no difference between them, but they looked fitter than us, if you understand what I'm trying to say. In the second half then we got to a new level of pace, and we started to play much better, and we got our matchups on them better, and yeah, going to plan B definitely worked, and we got our 2 goals off it. Could have got a few more, but just not enough.
The fact that you knew so many of the Kildare players, was that any advantage to you?
Look, a final's a final at the end of the day. We can do all the analysis and tactics you want in training. When you walk out into the pitch for a final, sometimes it can go out the window. No fault of anyone's really. It's just there's a lot of pressure and a lot of nerves. So yeah, I think our defensive matchups were really good. Schiffer's unbelievable. I thought she kept rushing reasonably quiet. I thought Anya done a good job in the first half, and Neasa as well. Neasa came into it a bit more in the second half. So yeah, we're reasonably happy with the likes of that sort of stuff, which I'd no rushing and Neasa and all the others. But yeah, other days maybe an advantage, not today. So
you had to live off frees, and your first point from play didn't come until a few minutes into the second half as well.
Yeah, they packed 12 behind the ball, so they were smothering the D, so they were making it difficult for us to get in. And the only way we were getting in was actually aggressive running and trying to draw fouls. So it's no fault of our own really. It's difficult to break down that sort of structure. In the second half then we were able to make more passes, and we found the space a little bit more. They obviously got a bit tired as well, and we coming into the last 10 minutes looked probably fitter than them, and we looked like we could do it. Just unfortunate for us. The
2 goals that you conceded in the first half, probably poor from your point of view.
Yeah, I actually missed the second one. I think it was just an error on either the kick or Cueva on the ground. Look, the way we kind of play can be risky. I trust their talent, and I trust their ability. So we never wanted to go away from what we normally do. So unfortunately today, one didn't go our way. I think Amy had 100% in the semi-final, and I think we probably had about 60 today, and that's not really enough from kick-outs, and that's from everyone. It's not just Amy. There wasn't much movement at times in the first half as well. So yeah, the second goal, I always like to scrap them ones. The other one was more of an issue for me because it was they played through us and got the goal. But again, I thought in the second half then we'd done a lot better.
I suppose looking back on this game, you've lost it unfortunately, but you can take positives from the performance that even though it's 7 points down, your team never shied away. They still battled to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'd be more disappointed in them if they didn't, because I know the characters that they are. And we said it at half time, we've been in worse positions various different points of the year. We'd have different adversities, and we'd have to get over them. So we weren't afraid to go after the 7 points. We made a decision at half time we were going to drop to the 45 and not go after the game too early, and then we die out after 10 minutes. So we kind of went a little bit safe opening 10 minutes and got back into the game slowly, and then went after them for the last 20. Look, I've so much admiration for the Clare girls. I can't speak about them highly enough. Very, very proud of them, and I think everyone in Clare is very proud of them as well. It's been a fantastic year. We set out at the start of the year to play every game, as in fulfil all the fixtures in the calendar. That's what we've done. All 3 finals, won 1, lost 2 by a kick of a ball in both, and just unfortunate for us, we fell on the wrong side of the kick.
And when you think of it, the players that you have lost and the players that you brought in this year, as you said yourself, you probably don't have any silverware to show for the impact that you made this year?
Yeah, and look at it. The players that we didn't have weren't there, so I never had to worry about them or plan for them. So we started from scratch, and we probably opened the door to a few players that were probably on the periphery of the panel, gave them life and gave them oxygen to go and perform and grow within the team. There's 5 or 6 of them there that were probably in the panel, but they've become enormous players for us this year, and I think a few of the top players have got even better. So we've been a close knit group all year, so it's just a pity. I just feel sorry for them more than anything.
Speaking of that fact that you haven't had a number of players available to you, and it's really been a rebuilding session this year for yourself and the Clare panel, and finding those number of players, is that building on to something bigger in the future, or is this a win or bust for yourself and your management team?
No, it's never win or bust. There's always tomorrow. So football's not going away anytime soon. But in regards to rebuilding, we never really believe in that, because you set out with a squad at the start of the year, like you do every year. Things happen, people go away, travelling, working. I don't know if more players are gone next year or not. So in ladies football, there seems to be a big turnover of players in the intercounty squad. So it's not something that I'm not used to. Being allowed as well. It's the same thing, and I haven't even thought about next year. To be honest with you, I haven't thought about tomorrow really. To be honest with you, I don't think any of them girls have either. So we'll sit together tonight and we'll mourn together, and we'll have a few bottles of beer and enjoy each other's company, and I think we'll be in the right company anyways for the next day or two.
I just came so close to your goal there. You've obviously gained the respect of Gaelic football people in Clare now, and with them